Coming on in here to our access panel, we have this kind of seat, this bench. It tucks in down this way under here and then rests down this way. And see how we have this beam going all the way around this trim? I'd imagine that kind of system would work better under here. But that's another subject for the dinette. Have other videos about that. Let's take a look what we have behind here. We have a CO and propane gas alarm. So you can push that button to test it. Makes a loud beep. It goes off a few times if you test it before it'll end. Then we have down here, this has the WFCO logo on it. And if you look in there, in that top screen, you'll see a fan. And the bottom one is a circuit board. And so it's just basically blowing air past and keeping the electronics cool. Over here we have a little sticker, water pump and filter excess and freshwater drain. And then we have this on-off for our pump. Let's see if this is running here. Okay. So that's working. Turn that off. So I wanted to go through kind of the water lines. It says it's a freshwater drain, and that has something to do with this valve here, and we have this dead end line here. So I'll talk about the routing of all that, but first we'll look at the other stuff in here. So we have our battery box, vented battery box, and we have quite a bit of extra space around. Personally, it would be great to see this set up more like the battery pushed back, the pump and the electronics pushed over here in one corner, and then maybe the water tank turned sideways that way. And then you might have room right in here for a hole in this panel, maybe a toilet seat on top that you could put on, and then with one of those bags or kind of quick toilet setups to hang down in there, or even just an extra storage, maybe with the door right here that goes through. Would be nice to have some more storage. But looking closer at this stuff, we have our water tank. This is the drain that comes down from the sink. Excuse me, the drain goes out. Let's figure out what we got here. This is our fresh water. I'm guessing one of these is when you pour in water from outside. So the fresh water coming in, one of the inlets. Someone will have to help me figure out. This might be like a return line while the pump is running or something. I'm not really tuned in with it, but I'll show it. I want you guys to see what this truck camper all has, and then in case you're wondering and have questions, we can discuss it in the comments and kind of figure it out together, because there's really no instruction manual for this thing. Now down there at the bottom, that's where the pump sucks the water from. So it goes up this tube, around over here, and down into the pump. Then it's going to come out and go this way on this line and go up to the sink into the shower. But first, I'm guessing it goes into the water heater over here. So into the water heater, wherever that's located. I think it's actually behind this, under here in the back, and then up to the sink into the outdoor shower. So that's that line. But along the way, we do have a detour here. So you come in from the water tank, and instead of going up here out to the pump, you can turn this valve, and you'd be going here to this dead end. And so it says it's a freshwater drain, so I assume if you wanted to drain, you can flip this valve, and then you'd hook on a siphon or some kind of pump here and take it outside. But if I wanted to drain this, I think I would just turn on the pump until it got pretty close to draining, and then maybe use this for the last bit. But anyways, that's that. Let's see here. What else can we show? A ton of wiring, everything from Romex to This dual cable heavy gauge wire. We got wiring back in here that goes to the CO alarm. Everything coming in the fuse box and going out this way through this panel. That I'm gonna have to unscrew that to kind of figure out what's behind there, but we also have the radio up here, so it might have some wires going that way for power. We do have this guy in here, which says he's a waterproof 50 amp kind of thing. I don't know if it's it says it's ignition protected, made in USA, 30 volt DC, so some kind of switching component. You guys are gonna have to clue me in and teach me about RVs, because I'm just learning all this stuff and trying to figure it out. The reason I make these videos is that you could see exactly how the Rogue EA-1 is set up, not necessarily how to do everything or what every part does, because I'm not experienced on it, but you may be, so you could help us out. Up here, I wanted to show while we're here in the area, there is a little shade that can snap on, but there doesn't seem to be, it has 3 snaps, there doesn't seem to be anywhere to kind of hang this or anything to do with it. When you're not using it, you'll just have to find a spot for it, slam it up there. It looks like it came with some kind of curtain rod thing, which I don't think would be useful right in here unless you kind of had it at the front and then you had little spices and or dishes or cups behind it so they wouldn't fall out. I'm not sure what. The build quality on this thing is, I would say, just okay. It's definitely slapped together. There's a lot of pieces in trim you'll see that's kind of not really cut exactly. You can see that, really see that there. I got an extra piece of trim just hanging there. There's usually sawdust all over from them just slamming holes through the thing and not vacuuming it up at the end, but it doesn't really affect anything, I wouldn't say. There's screws, you know, not always straight, and a lot of leftover bits that could be pulled off, but in general looks pretty good. See here, stickers already falling off the GFCI outlet. Now, is there any type of 12 volt? I would have thought there would be a 12 volt kind of cigarette lighter type of port in case you wanted to plug a little voltage meter in or something, see what you got, but doesn't seem to be from what I can see. We're clocking over 80 degrees in here. And one thing I wanted to mention about closing the roof and having these sides, these flexible sides are supposed to pull in as you close the roof if you turn on the fan. But you can see here, my fan will blow air out, but just as much air can come right back in. So you really need a full fan that covers the whole area and creates a vacuum inside of here to get that effect where when you're lowering the roof, the side panels will pull in on their own. And even if they do, there's still kind of a flap that goes around the very edges that you might have to stuff in on your own. So let's see what else we got here. One thing I wanted to mention about electronics, it looks like, and I believe this is the air conditioning cord setup. It's plugged right in here to a GFCI outlet, and the air conditioner is the closest thing we have right there. So I'm thinking that's what that's all about. As far as putting in solar, it should be prepped for solar in here, and I would guess maybe going through that hole or somewhere else. If you know where, please let me know in the comments so I can update on that. Might take a peek around the roof later. But that essentially ends our tour of the things that I know about and what all is going on inside this little area here. So good luck, guys, and like I said, put questions or comments, helpful tips in the comments for me so I can learn this camper better and figure it all out. Thank you.